welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the first match preview of the season. West Brom versus Leicester. First Premier League game of the season for West Brom. And boy, is it a tough one. It's a really tricky game. You know, Leicester are a very good side. Obviously, kick-off 2 o'clock on Sunday at the Hawthorns. We'll be live on Sky Sports Premier League. Now, I would have been absolutely buzzing to go to the first Premier League game of the season, but obviously with the coronavirus, that hasn't been at all possible, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited for this game. Like I say, this game is going to be a really tough game going into it for us. I think we've had a half-decent transfer window. You know, my only issue and concern is we haven't brought in a proven and clinical goal scorer. Now, there's a lot of links going around with Karlan Grant. You know, we brought in Grady Diangana, which was absolutely brilliant. He'll be a key player for us. I think he'll have a point to prove to West Ham for letting him go. You know, it would have been disappointing for anyone. You know, his boyhood club, he done really well in pre-season for them. He done really well for us last season. And I'm sure that, obviously, because he was a Londoner, he was hoping to break into the West Ham side this season. But that didn't happen. The West Ham board sold him to us, and he's an absolutely brilliant player. Definitely someone who could cause Leicester a few problems. Now, the next key player for us is Matheus Pereira. Now, we all know what he did in the Championship. We all know how good he actually was. And I do believe that he'll flourish in the Premier League as well. I think he's absolutely just a brilliant talent, and I do believe he'll do really well in the Premier League. Another player for Leicester to watch out for. Like I say, we definitely do need to bring in a striker or two. You know, you just need a goal scorer in this league, and we need a goal scorer before the Leicester game, but I'm not sure if that will happen. I do believe we'll go into the game with the squad what we've got now. You know, Callum Robinson coming in, he could be another key player for West Brom up front. You know, we saw how passionate he was last season when West Brom got promoted, and he's now recently made the move permanent, and I'm sure he'll want to prove a point in the Premier League. Now, in terms of Leicester City, obviously they sold Ben Chilwell to Chelsea for like £40 million. He was an absolutely brilliant left back, a really talented player, but they've still got a lot of talented players all around the pitch. The main concern for me is going to be Jamie Vardy. He's an absolutely brilliant player. Always seems to get a goal against us. Always gets above 15 goals in the Premier League, and he's just an absolutely brilliant player. To see how far he actually come, he's a really good professional. Maybe he's a bit of an arse, but you know, that's just in his nature and the way he is as a player, but that still doesn't take away the fact that he's an absolutely brilliant player, and he could definitely punish us. Another player obviously to look out for is the likes of Demarai Gray, former Birmingham City winger. Harvey Barnes, who was on loan at West Brom. You know, he was absolutely brilliant for us, and it was a real shame when he did get called back to Leicester. You know, they've got a good manager, a good attack-minded manager in Brendan Rodgers. And, you know, Leicester overall are just a brilliant side, and they've got talented players all around the pitch. Not to mention players like Kasper Schmeichel in goal, who's a brilliant keeper. Yuri Tillmans. You know, they've got so many good players around the pitch, and it's going to be an extremely difficult night for West Brom, I believe. I do believe that it's going to be a tough game, but hopefully we'll see the likes of Cedric Kipre play his first Premier League game. Hopefully he does well. You know, 800,000 from Wigan was an absolute bargain. But going into this game, guys, I am a bit 50-50. You know, like I say, we haven't got a clinical goal scorer. We've only got like Robson Kanu and Charlie Austin and Callum Robinson who can really play there. But, you know, it's going to be a really difficult game. I'm not going to be negative going into the first game of the season. I do believe that, you know, Bilic is a motivator. I do believe he's the type of manager who could get results out of his players. I do believe that it will be a tough game, but I do believe we'll give them a tough game as well. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 score prediction. I'm going to say Jamie Vardy to get on the score sheet for them, just because he always seems to score against us. And I'm going to say, I'm actually going to go with a... who am I going to go for? I'm going to go with a Mateus Pereira goal for West Brom. Like I say, I do believe that he'll have a point to prove in the Premier League. You know, show everyone what he's actually made of. And the same with Grady Diangana. And I'm really super excited for the game on Sunday. Hopefully we get the first 3 points of the Premier League season. Who knows? But come on, Albion. And hopefully we can get the win.